12 Memory Lane.
The biggest flaw of the human mind is that we can't quite unlearn what we know. Whatever happens in our life, our past always follows us like a shadow. The only thing we can do is let it burn and hope to live long enough to forget.
Stories of the residents of 12 Memory Lane. Maybe we shouldn't read that just yet. Maybe we should. If you're reading these words, it means you've managed to find my memoirs. My name is Henry, and this is my home. I used to live here with my family. But lately, I have only my memories to keep me company. Recently, my home seems to have turned against me. Illusions torment me without respite. I can no longer trust what surrounds me. I wrote this journal in case I too were to disappear. I use it to gather what I can still be certain of. I rely on notes to separate reality from illusion. Too many doubts remain unsolved. If you finish the work, you should be able to trace it back to me. I'm Henri Villemaine. I wrote this notebook on the 27th of February, 2007. Okay, so that changes that. But it says Harrington's and Sons, so I'm guessing we'll put that there. That says something different. That's a 2009. So things change, apparently. Well, so I'm guessing that means one of the notes is wrong. I mean, I didn't know that was his desk. I just thought that the first time I saw it, it said Harrington or whatever it was. Makes sense, that's my mistake. I thought it was put it as what the first thing I saw was, but it must be that I have to put the clues to find the right answer.
What we build is what will remain of us. Respecting my name and its legacy has always been my greatest duty. I have devoted my entire life to it, despite the sacrifices I've had to make to achieve it.
Okay, so I think we might need to find other sticky notes, maybe? Or other things to put them on.
an
Right.
unfinished model.
Okay. I came across this drawing of the two of us as children. Even as children, my brother and I always shared a deep passion for architecture. No matter how often our father would say, a beautiful building is drawn symmetrical and without curves, we kept dreaming of whimsical castles and fantastical skyscrapers. When he left us, his will entrusted us with his company. Fred wanted to pursue his childhood dream and keep pushing his wild ideas on me. As for me, I wanted to honour our father's wishes to preserve his work. I had grown. I decided to settle things by having us each respond to a public tender separately. My proposal won by a landslide. A few months later, Fred gave up architecture for. Okay, so where am I finding the answer to this from?
These numbers don't look very promising. What happened to the company?
Right, okay. So I'm supposed to get the answers from this. Hmm. I mean, that one's the only one that's symmetrical and without curves. I mean, it's got curves, but only on the window frames. That one is obviously not symmetrical. That one has got a lot of curves. So I'm going for a model for a manor. And that's my final say so. I mean, it's got to be the architect, hasn't it? I have no idea why I think that. Which would make that manor? No. How am I supposed to know this? Let's see if we can just guess and then figure it out later on. I mean, that's not symmetrical. I mean, it's the same idea. That's not symmetrical. That is. That's what I'm going off, the symmetry. That's my final answer. Although I may need to phone a friend. No, I got it. So I'm guessing it's symmetry. But to be honest, Fred has always been the better architect, but after this, I have never seen him working on a plan. I've been alone for several years. Florence, our housekeeper, has been coming multiple times a week since my teenage years. She was my oldest friend, always close to the family, but I ended up letting her go. One morning I went down to my office and found the grandfather clock mysteriously broken. Seeing my grandfather's heirloom in that state filled me with rage. I thought Florence would value this house's history more than anyone else. She argued that she wasn't working at the time of the incident, but I didn't want to hear it. Looking back at the clock a few days later, I realized she was telling the truth. I wrote her a letter, but I don't think I ever sent it. Right, so
The envelope has no stamp. The letter was never sent.
that's the only one to Florence. So it's got to be that one. But it does read, "Dear Florence, I'd like to apologise for my behaviour regarding the incident. I do feel it's important to point out the recent decline in the quality of your cleaning. It may help you better understand my irritation. I hope to see you back on Tuesday in good spirits and ready to address this lapse in attention." You see, I don't know why the music keeps stopping and starting, by the way, that's not me. That says Kate, but that reads more like the letter of him apologising. Florence, our housekeeper. It's got to be that one. The clock is broken, that's easy enough. Multiple times a week. This is going to be down to the day, isn't it? The time. So she wasn't here at 11:15. Which means... So it can't be 3 times a week because she would have been here at 11:15. But she could have been. So it's got to be afternoon. It does say one morning. But she wasn't there in the morning, so... By Jove, I think we're getting the hang of this. Hold on. So, if not her, then who could have broken the clock? It says if not her. I don't know if she was a German man or something. I'm only joking, mistakes happen, you know. It can't be perfect. So if not her, then who could have broken the clock? I started to think the house was haunted. Ooh. Other things began to disappear and come back somewhere else, to break without any explanation. I thought it was an elaborate setup. But I began to realise that it wasn't coming from the house. I'll speak all of a sudden. We'll read that last one again. I thought it was all an elaborate setup, but I began to realise it wasn't coming from the house. Just like you, I started finding clues hidden around the house. Strange sticky notes in my own handwriting, urging me to solve incomprehensible puzzles. Has he got Alzheimer's or something? Like, do you think he's forgetting that he's wrote these notes because he's got... Is it Alzheimer's? Just like you, I started finding, I've read that one. I even came across other notebooks like this one, describing my life with terrifying precision. Done a bit of digging and I'm finally starting to understand. There's no way to protect this family heritage with my own memory as my enemy. I need to find my wife and children quickly. Do they know about what's eating away at me? If you're reading this notebook for the first time, check one box. The door's open. Maybe it's a multi-dimension thing, but it's probably not. Let's be honest.
You have a message.
Hey Henry, it's Fred. I don't know what time it is back home, but I was calling because Florence told me that you fired her. She said that you were acting paranoid. I wasn't there, so I don't want to get involved. Anyway, look, how's it going over there? How's retired life treating you? Nah, no more work. No more living up to Dad. Maybe you'll end up enjoying yourself for once. I mean, did you ever even like architecture? I miss us building things together, though, like when we were kids. That's why I stuck with architecture in the first place, you know? I feel like our father's death drove a wedge between us, but we didn't have to let it. I was even thinking of inviting you out here to meet, but after what happened last Christmas, I don't know anymore. Anyways, I hope you're doing okay. See you soon, maybe.
Fix the flush. Just another room. Why does the music keep stopping and starting?
The last time I saw everyone was on Christmas Eve. The living room hasn't changed since then. I told Florence not to touch anything. My memories may betray me, but one thing is certain. That night I said something I shouldn't have said, and everyone left.
My family and I have an old tradition. Wherever life took us, we made sure everyone came home for Christmas Eve. I hadn't kept that tradition in the past few years, but that night, everyone came. As always, Fred was late. I was surprised to see Charles show up. He found his way down the mountain after all. His apology postcard got there before him. We laughed when it came through the mail. I teased him again about when he'd introduced someone special to us, but he just took a sip of wine and changed the subject.
The tree is still there. It's been more than a year since that Christmas day.
Dear Santa, thank you for the present. I might have to read that soon. So something just changed.
I remember posing for this picture, right here in this room. Elaine painted it, but true to form, she didn't include herself. We used to huddle together in front of the television and watch family videos.
Okay. This is about Charles who lives in the mountains. So there is 4 on this one. Or Fred even. Oh no, I was surprised to see Charles show up. He found his way down the mountain. Last time I saw everyone was on Christmas Eve. Maybe that... I thought it might be a family tree or something. So if I'm Henry, or if I'm not Henry, if the journal is Henry's, and he's with Elaine, that's not that. Which means it's probably going to be... definitely going to be Charles. But who else? So we're looking for the name of Charles' sister. So I'm guessing I'm the old man. Well, no, I keep saying I'm, but I mean the person whose journal it is the old man, which would mean nothing. I am grasping at straws completely. Right, so here's the dartboard, which is in something. This is getting complicated. Yeah, we've done that one. He lives on the mountains. There's a picture of him, if it's him. So... Charles... That means she must be Kate. I keep pressing the wrong button. What am I doing? So Charles wasn't married. Does that mean that could be Elaine? I'll go for that one because the woman is sat next to the guy. which I'm guessing is Kate and Fred. And there's no mention of a Lucy. So I'm going for Elaine and Charles because they are siblings. What's the other one? Oh, it's about the furniture. Right, so there's the dartboard. That would make that way. Because if you look at the painting, not the painting, whatever that is, the rug thing, that's the red settee sofa. Let's just see how many we've got right. 2. I have no idea how to work it out. So I think that the direction's right. Although it all depends on if the picture's right. That has a dartboard behind it. Who's the child? I know no mention. Oh, there is a mention of a child. So you got 1, 2, 3 men, 6. So there must be 5 people in the picture. 5, 5, 5. Typical. And that's just typical. There should be 3 men. Frederick, Henry, Charles. 3 men, 2 women and a baby. But Elaine's not in it. One, 2, 3 men. A woman and a kid. That would mean that's right. There's got to be the thing on it, the height. So if you look at the picture, it's got to be Charles and Kate. Oh, Kate and Henry. No, it's got to be Charles. But who the heck is Lucy? I don't know any Lucy. So it is Lucy. Don't ask me how I figured that out. So even though the evening started smoothly, I remember the quiet tension beneath the laughter. It felt like the weight of unspoken things hung in the air, settling into an empty seat. Why didn't we get together for 6 years? As usual, we wanted to get the presents out of the way, so we let little Tommy, I would say Timmy, little Tommy open his. He was overexcited and tore everything open in seconds before running off to play under the pool table. As Tom was playing with his new toy, I got hit on the head. At that moment, I was sitting at my desk having a difficult conversation with Charles. I knew I should have closed the door. I wasn't hurt, but I wanted to teach Tom a lesson. I put on a bandage and took him with me to the doctor just to scare him a little. But the doctor's diagnosis took an unexpected turn. That's how I found out I was ill. That yeah, it's definitely got dementia or Alzheimer's or something, hasn't it? He wanted to be a princess, he wanted to be an Indian, and he wanted to be a pirate. Well, what did he bash him on the head with? sword. Well, that answers even less questions, doesn't it? That's where I started. Okay. Well, this is just even more confusing. So, as he's playing with his new target, hitting the head. I mean, I was wondering if you can see under the... Yeah, if it's seen under the table, seen the desk, it's got to be on that side, hasn't it? If he's hiding underneath here, he sees him at the desk. I mean, we're definitely guessing that it's that early stage Alzheimer's from the memory and stuff. Whether we find that out from something else. So yeah, it was under the pool table. I don't know how I'm meant to figure out. So, dear Santa, thank you for the present. I haven't seen you in so many years. Can you come say hi next time? So it's the same message on every one. I mean, you're not going to get hit on the head with a bow and arrow. At least not to cause damage, unless it gave him real arrows, and then you'd be in some serious trouble. I just don't know how I'm meant to figure this out. What do we know about him? Tell me on the medical note what happened to his head. I'm going to go for a sword because that's... which would mean he wanted to be a pirate. No. Well, I mean, that's definitely got to be Alzheimer's. Yeah, so he wanted to be an Indian, apparently. I just don't see how that issue on the head. I wonder if I even got to show the diagnosis to my family. Do they know I'm sick? Right before dinner, a little miracle happened. It eased the tension a bit. Phew, for fuck's sake, I can't even speak. A few years earlier, when the kids started working, someone in the family insisted we get a pet. I eventually gave in. That thing truly hated us, and we all hated it right back. It's probably going to be a cat then, isn't it? You wouldn't let anyone touch it or even come near it. It's definitely a cat. A few weeks before Christmas, the pet managed to escape from the yard. It didn't understand why. I didn't understand why. But suddenly everyone got very worried. The kids put up missing posters, but the animal's name was too embarrassing to write on them. Maybe he caught the smell of dinner or heard our voices, but miraculously, he slipped through the front door as if nothing had happened. He said he slipped in through the front door. He didn't say he came through a pet door. I mean, was it when it was open? Please find and close a deed for a companion plot, which now holds your beloved bulldog. They know that the dog is dead. Rocket is pregnant. Cat. Right.
Knowing how rowdy Tom can get, it's a miracle this vase was never knocked over.
Well, he said the name was too embarrassing or something to put on. So it's got to be between those two. I still think it's a cat with them saying how evil it was. Is it Barack Obama? Now, that's obviously a dog. Satan the cat. And they said he was evil, didn't they? So it's got to be that because we think the name is Satan. Got to be a cat tree. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I missing? Oh, it was the thing. The letter's on the floor. It said the cat come through door, so we're going for no peephole. Look at that. We're finally warming up to it. So Tom was bouncing for joy and the kids were thrilled, yep. And here I was thinking nobody liked the cat. Dinner got off to a good start. Everyone took their seats around the table and began sharing stories about our best moments together. Elaine brought out the dessert, and the mood mood turned a little more somber as we talked about past Christmases. The kids looked at me like I was a criminal. We're missing a page, yeah. We'll read it anyway. The kids looked at me like I was a criminal. I only spoke the obvious. No one here could pretend that things would end well, or that we could help any longer. I protested, but they wouldn't listen. Brad even slammed his fist on the table. I said once more, this house has no place for strays. I don't understand how everything spiraled out of control so quickly. Everyone fell silent. Charles stood up and left the house first. Without a word, Lucy followed him, pulling Tom by the hand all the way to her car, despite his protests and confusion. So I think we're learning now why everybody left the house. Red grumbled something about catching a train and disappeared at dawn. He's been travelling more and more ever since Asia, the Middle East, Africa, anything to get as far away from home as possible. Lucy went back to competing. I saw her on the cover of a magazine, her face hidden behind the mask. Elaine stayed for a few days, locked away in her studio, painting strange pieces. Even by her standards, after a week, Lucy came to get her, and they left without saying goodbye. Since that day, every time I head upstairs to my room, I walk beside the altars of my missing family members. The fuck? And that's just creepy. Right. Did say behind the mask, didn't it? So that she was competing again behind the mask. We're going for fencing. I head upstairs. I walk beside the altars. The altar of my missing family members. Fucking... You're not gonna do that as I'm walking towards the stairs, hmm? Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to get downstairs again. You doing it on purpose, aren't you now? Properly doing it on purpose. So what did Frederick do? So Elaine was a painter. How do we know what order they're going? That's Frederick. Well, we know he wasn't a painter. Elaine was a painter. Yeah, Elaine's painting tools. So I'm gonna say that Charles's plants, because Fred likes to travel, so he's gonna have. Wait, so that's been Fred. He's gonna have souvenirs, isn't he? If he likes to travel. So that's them. And so I'm guessing you come upstairs, then he has to walk past these, which means the stairs are on the left. What? That's got to be the stairs then, because is that not his room? I thought that was his room, so if it's not, no, look there, Henri and Elaine. Wait, am I Henri again? I think I am. That would make sense. I didn't look for his room. With everyone gone, the only person I saw was Florence, until I eventually let her go. Then my memories began to fade. I still can't believe everyone walked away over a few words. I don't even remember why I said them. This house has no place for strays. Who was the stray? Why did everyone leave? And how is it that no one ever tried to reach out to me again? What really happened? I need to find the final piece of the puzzle before I forget again, before I disappear. I've always been one to uphold the legacy of our family. Ever since my father passed, I've done everything I could to live up to that responsibility. I guess I failed.
You have a message.
Hey, Dad. It's Charles. I was calling today because, well, I'm getting married. Technically, it's a civil union, but for all intents and purposes, yeah. I don't think you'd want to come, so I won't ask, but I thought you'd want to know. I still remember what you told us that night. This house has no place for strays. That hurts. Yeah, that hurt. I didn't blame you for what happened. I mean, I feel like we were all partially responsible, but that just felt like you still didn't look back at your own failings. And I thought about it. This house has no place for strays, and well, I agree. So I decided to build a house that does that. And look, if you really want a seat at the table, you can, but you'd have to make amends with a lot of people before that. Anyways, take care of yourself, I guess.
Elaine has always had a world of her own, both in painting and in music. I admire her talent, but sometimes she needs help staying grounded. I believe she worked on an important piece, but I can no longer remember what it was about.
I keep thinking back to the first time I met her. Her parents had hired my internship supervisor to redesign their house. She was painting, and I finally mustered the courage to ask her about her work. I watched her paint for hours. She always drew inspiration from objects she found around the house, transforming each one into a unique painting. For her, everything had a hidden existence that she could set free.
Elaine enjoyed making her paintings dance under the light. Elaine used to leave her workshop door open so I could hear her play. Unfortunately, my office was too far away for me to hear properly.
So I don't really know much.
just be the best present I ever bought her.
Chose to paint the chimera because it speaks to my recent struggle to stay true to all parts of myself. I'm deeply grateful to Kate for her unwavering support through these difficult years. You're the one who pulled me back into this stage today. I'd also like to thank my husband Henry. I can't wait to come back next year. So there's got to be stuff I can read somewhere.
I'm mixing up all of her paintings. I don't know which ones I've seen before.
I mean, she was a painter. Would she really have a piano in her?
Elaine could go days with paint on her hands. Not exactly what I'd call refined, but she didn't seem to mind.
Wait, why would he gift her a clock? Oh, I'm guessing she might have painted it. Are there any paintings of a clock? Well, she's playing a piano there. I don't know if that's the window behind her. Yes, it has changed. I am confused. See that changed. That was a gold medal before. How am I meant to know? Painting of an exhibition. Painting of a burrow. I mean, it said things she sees around the house. Maybe that's on a wall somewhere. I mean, she's got quite a lot of books. I'm going to say it's a favourite book. I don't see any jewellery anywhere. I've seen an oil lamp somewhere in a painting. That one? Is that an oil lamp? No, it's just a cage, isn't it? I'm trying not to guess them. So I mean, I'm gonna have to try and find these around the house, really, aren't I? That's why it's saying that.
I remember asking Florence not to go into the dining room.
I've got to think what I'm actually looking for. Same book that was in the other thing. That just changed, didn't it, as I walked in? I'm already upstairs though. How am I downstairs now? I've gone upstairs and upstairs again. Now I'm downstairs. I'm confused. That must be how he felt.
This must be the bookshelf where I store my things. This used to be my parents' bedroom. After they died and my brother left, Elaine and I made it ours.
Don't know how I'm meant to know. Well, that's got a candle in it. That doesn't have any light source in it. So because that's got a candle in it, I'm going for candle there. That's most likely to be in the house. And then it's this. How does she feel about plants? Are there many plants? Plants. There. She's got a lot of plants. Right. So... So I got that right about the plant. She said she painted the chimera. So I'm guessing that's 1, 2. I'd guess the book was right. Which would make candles wrong. She painted... Oh, wait a minute. See, that's got the flower pot in it. Which makes me think, oil lamp? But where? I'd rather find the answer than guess it. But the letters changed. Or am I meant to find clues from the bits that are changing that I have no control over? So there's one thing wrong, which must be... No. I mean, we worked out that it should be book. So I don't feel too bad about that. She said she painted the chimera. That's got the oil lamp on it. Right, I feel better now because we've figured it out. There's a picture of an oil lamp there. And in this picture, there's the flowers. So that's 4 things. Chimera is the 5th one, which says she wrote in the letter. The only thing I didn't figure out was the book, other than she's got quite a lot of books. So that's the reason I would have chose that. Mes amis étaient fascinés Par ces peintures, je ne pouvais détourner mon regard de la peinture. I don't know what any of that means. I know my friends something, I guess in painting. I do not something. I have no idea. The next day, I invited us to dinner anyway. So, when Elaine moved into the house, I remember she insisted that the tea room be turned into her studio. I didn't understand why she was so determined to set her things here, but I agreed to hire movers to do everything. To make some space, I asked her to sort through the bigger furniture. It was impossible to keep her piano and the eel. Instead of taking furniture apart, these amateurs dragged a piece from the hallway all the way to the platform, leaving marks on the floor and my grandmother's carpet. Right, so we're gonna have to figure out should be drag marks somewhere. And we're gonna figure out if they match that of a piano or an eel. Or an easel if you want to call it that. But is that just in here?
Poor carpet. I remember spending hours trying to clean it, but it didn't work.
That's pretty... It's either going to be 3 and a big thing. There's 3 there. Quite difficult to see the markings. There's only 2 on there. That's 2 sets of 2. That's going to be 4, which would be those 2 sets of 2. What's the other thing? So how am I meant to know how big the door was? Anything to do with the painting? No? The double door looks right. was dragged there. I mean, that lines up better. Well, I was wrong on all counts. There was the piano, which explains the background music, I suppose. And obviously, if it's a piano, it has to be a double door to get the piano in. It's got to be the second markings. They can't be sideways markings. Which rules out the first and the third. And we had it on the fourth, which still looks more likely to me. Which is still difficult to see. I mean, getting through the door is the easy part. How are you going to get it across this landing? Hold on. Yeah, so the picture is the rug anyway. I should have seen that. It's like 3, 1, 2. See the 2. That makes sense. Which means it would have to be the eel. Not the eel, the piano. Because of the 3 legs, possibly. And then the double doors to get the piano through. Spent my evening calling them to get a refund for the damage they caused to my family heirloom. I remember getting into a fight with her after she entered a local art contest. I thought we'd agreed she put her passions aside to focus on raising the kids. I was surprised to learn she had taken up painting again, but decided to be the bigger man and attend the ceremony. After getting out of that ambush, we went across the street to eat at the Red Lion. The atmosphere was good, even though she hadn't won first prize. Jokingly, I pointed out that she forgot to mention her husband in her thank you speech. So in that one it says to Henry I dedicate neither, but she still mentions him. So it's got to be that one, the modest speech, because Henry's mentioned in both the other ones, even if it's not in a great light. So we don't know if she finished second or third yet.
Ah, I remember that exhibition.
So that's at Hilltop Mall, which is unlikely. Town Hall stage. Museum. It did say across the road from the museum, so it's got to be the museum. Saturday at 8 p.m. So there's something else as well. The medal. So he attended the ceremony. She's cut him out of that one. No, but that still says first. They both say first, so it's got to be that one. There's only 2 people, so I'm gonna guess second. I didn't understand why she got angry. Elaine's passions have always worried me, but I often made sure she put family before any other pastime. Luckily, she seems to have calmed down in recent years. When she started winning more and more contests, I was thrilled to know that her efforts would finally bring something real into her life. My investigation is getting stranger and stranger. I keep seeing her name appearing in the illusions, as if someone had been erased from the story. Kate, yes, Kate. I have wondered who she is myself. She the missing piece I need to find my family. The last painting she finished doesn't look like what she usually paints. It makes me uneasy. If she always drew inspiration from furniture, then where does this golden cage come from? Where's the phone?
You have a message.
Hi, Henry. I'm calling to tell you we might come over with Lucy to pick up some of my stuff. I don't think it will take long. I didn't get to keep much when I moved in. Do we need to talk about what happened 2 years ago? Is there even something worth saving between us? I feel like I spent years painting and competing. And for what? To prove that it was worth it? That I wasn't wasting my time? I think that we've proven enough times that we don't understand each other. Of course, I wouldn't thank you when I won. Of course, I did it all alone. God, I don't even remember what type of person I wanted to be before we met. Listen, I'll let Lucy tell you when we come over. I don't think talking will bring any good.
Okay. Wait, that's the room that said nothing to see here, isn't it? Elaine's passions, yeah, we've read that. Chapter 4, her name is everywhere. Every illusion bears her mark. All the stories in the house lead back to her. Why does this name haunt me like this? Everything I'm searching for seems to be in this room, the one facing my office. I started to understand the first time I stepped into her room. All those boxes and things left behind. Kate was my little sister. She was much younger than me. We were never very close, yet she lived with us in that room. She never really found her path. Unlike Fred or the kids, she never left the house and skipped town. As everyone grew up, she became harder and harder to live with. Everything blew up 6 years before our last Christmas. Her problems started becoming everyone's problems, and we all needed to have one good evening of peace. That evening she came home from work before anyone else, staring blankly, still smelling of tobacco and alcohol. I told her to leave. I'm pretty sure that she supported Elaine's work because she's been mentioned in a few things. Right, so her problems became everyone's problems, so I'm guessing she had a problem. Yeah, we've done that one. Who would dress up as Santa? What am I missing? What have I read something? This Sunday evening around 6 PM, a driver on the A140 motorway lost her life in a road accident that blocked traffic for several hours. This incident once again highlights the shortcomings of this Asian motorway. Blah 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 blah. I'm guessing they're all just blame themselves for what? Henry still let me stay at the house for free. Tell him every day that I'm going to get back on track. Okay, we'll go because she blamed herself. Wait a minute, did she kill someone in the car crash because she was drunk or something? I'm guessing they're all just put things there instead of not there. I did what I should have done a long time ago. After all, this house has no more room for strays. That night, I acted in everyone's best interest. The family's charity couldn't support her forever. She needed a wake-up call. But Kate never came back. For 6 years, we didn't celebrate Christmas. When we finally gathered one last time, I let the story slip out. I told everything, and then everyone left. You must already have understood who you are and what you have done. The truth is not a beautiful thing when it ends up destroying a family. In this matter will be better off disappearing forever. You who are reading these words, I regret having inflicted them upon you, but I am counting on you to burn this notebook. You can spare the next person who reads it from this suffering. Do not answer the phone, do not go out, do not try to contact your family. You do not deserve to see them again. Make the right choice, Henry. I said don't answer the phone, but I'm going to anyway.
You have a message.
Hello?
Hello?
And that was 12 Memory Lane. Let me know what you took away from it. Clearly he was struggling with Alzheimer's, and he forgot why his family fell out and what he'd done.